I'm struggling to get the smoke on this. I think there will be few notes between all three of them that will be very common.
Yeah. Color on all three.
I think color also would be similar. I think for me the 3 seems a bit
Three is actually slightly darker.
darker, right?
Slightly
That's what.
darker. Yeah. Yeah, I think it feels denser than the other two.
Ever wondered if you can actually taste the difference between 3 of the most popular blended Scotch whiskies without actually looking at the label?
So today we are tasting 3 of the most popular blended Scotch whiskies: the Johnnie Walker Black Label, the Chivas 12-year-old, and the Dewar's 12-year-old blind. And we'll try to take our guesses which one is what.
Hi everyone, Swati and Vinayak from the Dram Club, and welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the world of whiskies and spirits from around the world. And before we get started, these are all 3 blended Scotch whiskies. So what exactly is a blended Scotch whiskey? Now, while single malts may be the 6-year Scotch whiskey, but blended Scotch whiskies make up to 90% of the overall Scotch whiskey market. And as the name suggests, a blended Scotch whiskey is a blend of whiskies which could be single malt or grain whiskies from different distilleries in Scotland. All of the distilleries have to be from Scotland and aged for a minimum of 3 years. So, Swati, you know the 3 whiskies, right?
Yes.
What do you think? Can you guess all 3 of them?
I think amongst the 3, Black Label will be easier to guess because Black Label is the smoky one.
Right.
Other 2 aren't smoky.
Right.
But yeah, it is going to be difficult to identify between the Chivas 12 and the Dewar's 12.
On that note,
I think we should
so we go from
center to out. So it's 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
The team has already coded it for us.
Cool. So let's get started.
Yeah.
And again, before we get started, I have a question for the audience. When you taste a whiskey or when you nose a whiskey, what is that one flavor profile or one aroma that you look for in a whiskey? Let us know in the comments. Let's see.
Lots of honey.
Yeah, honey, caramel.
Very sweet on the nose.
Yeah, this fruitiness coming through. Just a bit of apricots. I think
I'm getting a little bit of that apple pear kind of a note.
there is fruity sweetness, but also
Is it?
that it's like more of that apple juice, that appy fizz, if you remember.
Yeah.
Does appy fizz still exist? I haven't seen.
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it has that juice, apple juice sort of a thing.
I'd also get a little bit of spice, I think.
I'm getting more of that oak, sweet oak.
Okay. Color on all 3.
I think color also would be similar. I think for me the 3 seems a bit... But again, we'll have to sort of look at them individually. So if I have to look at 1 and 2, there isn't much of a difference between 1 and 2.
It's pretty much the same.
See, also because...
all of 3 would have caramel coloring.
Coloring to it, and given the...
Color might be consistent. 3 is actually slightly darker.
Darker, right?
Slightly
That's what,
darker, yeah. But I definitely think number 1 has a very pleasant nose.
Yeah.
It's very...
Approachable, very approachable.
A very inviting nose, I would say.
So on that note, let's accept the invitation.
Yes.
And have a sip of the whiskey. A lot of toffee, honey, vanilla.
I
think there will be few notes between all 3 of them that will be very common.
Yeah. And again, also because these are the entry-level expressions,
Yeah.
so they will have easier notes.
Yes.
So that it's not too overpowering for anybody
yeah.
who's trying.
I mean,
Then
these are
for the
gateway
first-
whiskies, right, for people.
yeah.
So, but between the 3 of them, Swati, which was the... Do you remember which of these 3 you would have first bought or tried?
To be honest, I have not bought either of them
Okay.
from my own money,
Okay.
or at least not a bottle.
Okay.
I've definitely tried Black Label a lot more compared
Okay.
to the Chivas 12 and the Dewar's 12.
Mhm.
Black Label I have distinct memories of
Mm-hmm.
trying. But Chivas 12 and Dewar's 12, I've not tried enough, to be honest. How about you?
I think it has to be the Black Label 12, 12-year-old, because again, easy accessibility, widely available.
Yeah.
So I think, in fact, for that matter, I'm just trying to think. I've never had the Chivas 12. Like, also have last couple of years, 3 years, have been so much about the double.
Yeah.
And also, when we started getting into whiskey, right, what has happened is we've started sort of graduating
Yeah.
upwards.
Yeah.
So, hence, probably, which is not the right thing to do, but it just happened.
Yeah, like I got into whiskey because of Lagavulin 16. So I think that's a different pedigree altogether.
What do you get on the palate, though?
I guess I think there's a little bit of sweet spice, oak, toffee, vanilla. Yeah, I think I'm getting those notes. I'm not getting so much of those apple and pear notes that I was getting on the nose.
There's a bit of that fruity sweetness.
Yeah.
Again, oak is there. There's a bit of vanilla, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the second one.
Get it.
These are the ones.
This one is a bit grassy. I get a grassy note on this one compared to the first
Second one?
Yeah, on the second one, yes. Like the vegetal. I'm getting a lot on the nose. A little bit of spice. Very, very subtle.
Oh, at this point, I would want you all, if you're watching the video, to pause the video and make a guess between Swati and I, who is going to get all three right. Yeah, just one answer.
It's very different on the palate compared to the nose.
Yeah. What are you getting on the nose, though? This is a lot mellower compared to the previous one.
Yeah, it's very mellow.
It's not offering much on the nose.
No,
actually.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting much on the nose except that grassy note.
I mean, I'm getting, if I really have to like dig into it.
You know, I'm getting what kind of a smell from this? Like a lychee.
Okay.
Which
I'm
is
not
good.
getting, see, for me, it's more like, you know, that wood polish.
Okay. You're basically getting the alcohol smell.
Alcohol smell, and everything else is very subdued.
Yeah.
There is a bit of that.
There isn't much on the nose to understand.
Wood is there. Very mild. This has sweetness coming through. That honey sweetness is, but it is very, very mild.
Yeah.
There is a bit of that, again, toffee and a caramel sweetness, but again, very, very mild. Like on the number one, the first one, I think it was a lot more pronounced. You had fruitiness coming through.
I think even on the palate,
It falls a bit flat.
yeah, it's mellow. It's mellower definitely compared to the first one. There is a little bit of that oaky note that I'm getting, a little bit of spice. That sweetness, that honey and toffee that you were talking about, again, very, very mild. But I think spice is the prominent flavor on the palate. Like I think the first one was more sweet forward, even on the palate. Mellow nose, fairly light on the palate. Doesn't offer a lot.
Much shorter finish.
Yeah,
as well.
much shorter finish as well.
But I think I'm getting that herbaceous note on the palate as well.
Yeah.
But I think on the palate also I'm getting a bit of very light citrus zest, like a very
Like a bitter citrus note, you would say.
no, slight orange.
Okay.
Orange, I would say.
Okay.
Like on the slightly on the sweeter side, but
Okay.
that's what I'm getting. Yeah, but like a very orange that is not bitter but not too sweet also.
Okay.
On the finish again, short
Yeah.
compared to the first one.
Yeah. And not too much on the finish as well.
Yeah,
like.
yeah. This one definitely has a lot more happening on the nose.
This has some spice and smoke coming through.
It's also a bit more viscous.
Yeah, I think it feels denser than the other two. I think it has a lot going on the nose as well as the palate.
What are you getting on the nose?
I'm getting some hints of smoke. There's a little bit of black pepper that I'm getting.
Black pepper.
Yeah.
So shall we say that this is the black label?
It feels like the black label, but I will revisit all the three to make sure.
I'm struggling to get the smoke on this one.
It is. It's very mild.
I'm getting a lot of sweetness on this one. Again, the vanilla, caramel,
Yeah.
citrus. Again, there is a bit of citrus.
There's a bit of citrus coming.
I think this one definitely has a much a heavier mouthfeel compared to the other two.
It also has a lot more to offer on the palate, I think. There's some amount of sweetness. There's a little bit of fruitiness. I'm also getting some citrus notes. There's some spice. So I think there's a lot more going on the palate on this one.
It has a more of spicy kick compared to the other two.
Yeah.
Because after the initial sweetness on the palate, which again, what I'm getting is pretty much the same. Honey, vanilla, caramel. Some apple also is coming through for me on this one.
I think honey, vanilla is across the board, or like that's like a.
This one, the first one had, I think the apple was very prominent there. Here, the citrus is a little bit more prominent.
Prominent, yeah.
The spiciness is a bit more prominent.
Yeah. I think the pepperiness is quite prominent on the third one.
But do you think the last one has a bit of longer finish as well?
Yeah, it has.
But towards the end, the finish is like of that wood.
Yeah, woody, oaky.
Yeah, that's it.
But it has a fairly long finish compared to the first and the second one.
So between the three of them, so the Dewar's 12, as well as the Johnnie Walker 12-year-old, both of them are blends of, can you guess how many whiskies?
I'm sure upwards of 15-20 whiskies.
So I don't know the number for Chivas 12.
Okay.
If you know how many whiskies go inside making of a Chivas 12-year-old, let us know in the comments. Both the Black Label 12-year-old and the Dewar's 12 are a blend of 40 malt and grain whiskies.
Wow.
That's a lot. 40 malt and grain whiskies.
That is a lot.
Yeah. So, how many of these three you think you can guess?
I think I definitely think number 3 is the Black Label.
Okay.
Because it is known for its bold flavors, spice.
Yeah. Spice and smoky.
Spice, smoke. So I'm getting that smoke, I'm getting the spice. It's got a much longer finish.
Yeah.
And the finish is also spicier, woody finish compared to the first two. So I think the third one is the Black Label. I think the first one is the Chivas 12. Because it, like at the heart of it is Strathala. Fruity, very, palatable.
But is Strathala known for fruity flavors?
Yeah, Strathala is known for fruity flavors.
But because they don't have a single malt that they make. So that's why I'm just trying to...
Strathala makes a single malt, of course they make
It's not a...
it's not a
commercially single
single
That's what
malt.
hence I'm saying.
I think that is what it is.
Okay.
And I think number 2 is Dewar's because that's the one I least relate to and that's also the one I have least had. So I think just by elimination, I would say number 2 is Dewar's 12. Before you start guessing which one is what, which is the one you feel like going back to? Like which is the one you're liking the best of the 3?
Best of the 3. I'm liking the number 1.
Okay. And why?
I think I like the sweetness, the fruitiness, a bit of the nuttiness that it is offering on the palate. So I think I like the first one more.
Right.
What about you?
Actually, for me also the first one. That's why I was asking why did you like it, because I feel like it's mellow, it's easy, it's very like sweet notes forward.
Got it.
And also I think the nose is very inviting. So that's why I think I felt like going back to the first one again.
Okay. So again, I think also I've tried the Dewar's 18 and generally the Dewar's is a lot more approachable as a style, I would say.
Right.
So second is Dewar's.
Okay.
1 would be the Chivas 12-year-old. And 3
is the Black Label.
Is the Black Label.
Yeah.
The 12.
Somehow, like, we still don't know whether we are right.
Yeah.
But I somehow remember Black Label to be smokier.
Exactly.
And spicier.
That's what hence it's like, I'm not very, that smoke
It is very subtle. Somehow I remember Black Label to be like smokier than this for sure.
There is, the smoke. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not, when earlier also when we were tasting, I somehow am struggling to get the smoke on this one. And now the most awaited part of the video, the big reveal to see whether Swati and I got our guesses right.
Before we do the reveal, this is the first time we have guessed the exact same order. So either both of us are going to be right or both of us are going to be wrong.
Let's see. I think I have a feeling we'll be right for a change.
So number 1 is Chivas.
Okay, so we got it right.
Number 2 is the Dewars. So we are right.
Yes, and the third then
Third one is the Black Label.
Black Label, which is again very surprising. Why am I not getting the smoke on this one? Maybe we are used to a lot smokier, heavier whiskies now.
Yeah.
So Swati, this was a very interesting take on blind tasting 3 of the most widely available blended Scotch whiskies.
Yeah.
And in fact, it made us think as well in terms of what we can expect out of fairly entry-level whiskeys, so to say.
Yeah.
But I think, some of them could be a casual sipper when you don't want something intense. But again, I don't think I'll be sipping them in a Glencairn. I'll probably make a highball out of them.
Okay.
But I think also for the audience, blind tasting really makes you, or blind tastings really force you to sort of dig deep inside into the whiskeys and explore aromas, flavors that you wouldn't pay attention to otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we were really forced on number 2 to use all possible senses to get some aromas, some nose, some...
Even for the Chivas 12, right? When it was like, when you were tasting from the nose to palate, it's like you don't know where it is coming from.
Yeah.
So see, typically what happens with a single malt, right? A distillery, typically the basic characters a distillery is known for, which in a blend, because it's a blend of, let's say, I mean, as we discussed, right? Dewar's 12, 40 whiskeys, Johnnie Walker 40 whiskeys. I'm guessing Chivas wouldn't be less than 15, 20 whiskeys any which way. So there is no standard distillery characteristic that you can associate with. So,
and to think that they have to make this consistent flavor year on year.
Yeah.
It's quite a task.
Yeah.
And that's why they say blending is an art and a science both.
Yeah.
So with that, we come to the end of this blind tasting flight. If there are any other whiskies that you want us to put in a blind tasting and taste together, let us know your recommendations in the comments below. And
don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more such videos.